Have you guys been going through the game the exact same as me, wondering which buildings do I build and when do I build them? And at what point do I stop upgrading the Nexus? How often should I play the game? I'm going to answer all of that for you right now, so buckle up. This is going to be a really interesting video, and I built an epic spreadsheet to go with it. This is going to detail exactly how you should build your land for when the reset happens on the 21st of February. Now, why I've established this is because, like many people, I don't really have the time to go in and play my land for 20 hours a day, right? I want to be able to get my land to that stage where I can jump on once a day, do the daily crap I got to do, and then jump off and come on the next day. And why do I want to do that? Is because I just want to get all the blueprints for the alpha, and then when the land resets, I will put different amounts of effort into it, and I'll make lots of content for that as well. So subscribe down below if you want to be in tune for that as well. But this is going to be some really interesting stuff. Basically, what I'm establishing here is what is the minimum viable product you can do for your land and you can get to, and then you can just return once a day and pretty much just do all your scanners, right? Do all your scanners, your material labs. That is the core thesis here. Here is the spreadsheet I built. Now, I will put this in the description. If we can get 100 likes on this video, I want to leave it with you guys for a bit to kind of digest it and figure it out. Maybe there'll be some comments of great ways I can improve it. Currently, I haven't incorporated the timing for the different buildings. For example, the mine might take 3 hours to harvest. I haven't really included that. I'm just assuming you do each of these once a day. It does apply a little bit differently, but this is to suit my lifestyle and what I think is important. And playing once a day is important to a lot of people. So now, with that out of the way, I have two major sliders at the top here. I've got the tier of your land. Currently it's set to 1, and I've got the Nexus level. Now, at about Nexus 7, you can achieve pretty much everything. You can fill your entire plot with buildings. So that is an important key part of this thesis for me. Although some people might think Nexus 8 is better, in which case I will add it in the future, and I will make a new video about that. Currently, I've got Nexus 6 and 7. What I've been finding is Nexus 6 doesn't really work. Now, that is why I've built this thing to pretty much tell me that information. Can I get away with Nexus 6? No, I cannot. I want to show you why just now. This also includes all the updated data from the latest patch, whereas converters are now at a base 1-to-1 rate. Obviously, this changes as you go up the different tiers. I do have to give some credit where it's due to Illuvitect. I can't remember his name in the Discord. Illuvitect, I used his database to rip pretty much all my information from. He has all the outputs and everything, and he has his own simulator as well. So once you're done with this video, you can go check that out. But I don't think it quite gives you so many of the answers as this does, or in this digestible format. But it is very good if you want to take it the next step further. But for those of you that just want a really basic overview, this is going to be better for you. So what am I looking at? Basically, it's going to tell you how many silos you need based on your buildings. All right. So how much storage you can get, or how much storage you need to do the singularity scanning and things like that. And it's also going to tell you how many buildings you have with the different things you put in. Now, currently I put in one of each kind of mine. Okay. They generate 144,000 of each material, of each element on their own. I've got them all at 120% efficiency. I'll put my converters at 100% efficiency. I hope you guys are following along here. Trust me, trust me. I've also got it evenly distributed, even though that's not realistically how it would work. Basically, you'd convert either silicon to hydrogen or carbon to hydrogen. But I've just got it split between the two because I don't know which one you're going to pick in general. So that's just the easiest way to do the maths. I've got 2 of each of the converters, and I've also got a singularity scanner and materials lab, but I don't have any of them yet. They're set to 0. But you can see that with the different converters, they're not actually adding any resources, not on a tier 1 at least. So your efficiency would actually have to be higher. If you had 120%, 120%, and 120%, you can see that the efficiency goes up, and so does the output. But it's actually the exact same if they're at 100%, right? So they're not being used at all at the moment. And you can see from my 3 regular mines, I'm getting 144,000. But if I then added my 3 converters, it's still 144,000 because it's a 1-to-1 conversion rate. So only use them if you need them. But considering every plot is different, there's a good chance you're going to need it. So the next thing we're going to look at is what do you do next? So if we jump over to Nexus 7, you can see things start to change because we're assuming my mines and my extractors and my converters are all at level 7 as well. Now, if I start to jump up to tier 3, you can see that the numbers start to get a lot higher. I still only need one silo because they actually scale with tier, and you don't need to change any of those numbers for the silos. They'll automatically do it. But you can see that I have a lot of buildings left over. So maybe I want to add a power plant in here. And I'll add 10 of them. Maybe I'm building on my land. I figure I need a lot of these power plants. I'm starting to put in all the different efficiencies and things. You can't really nitpick it too much. Once you get your Nexus to level 7, you'll probably start to nitpick it and then figure out where this all sits for you. Now, since I'm on a tier 3, now the different plants, and let's say they're all at 80% efficient, there's different converters, actually make a pretty big difference. Now, once you get to this point, this is the really important part. I'm going to remove my camera just for a second here. This is the really, really important part. Now you have the Singularity Scanner and Materials Labs. Now, I know a lot of people have started thinking up strategies where you can maybe have 10 Singularity Scanners. Obviously, I don't have enough resources for that. Maybe five, and I don't go in the negatives for my different fuels. So if I have 5 Singularity Scanners, I can effectively just go for all the bio data I need, and then I can get rid of those 5 Singularity Scanners and switch it up to 5 Materials Labs, and I can start getting all the blueprints I need. But you can see that you can start to min-max this sort of thing. So since I'm not at 100 buildings yet, let's say they're all at about 70% efficiency, right? They're all about 70%. You can customize it. You can add multiple of them with different quantities and efficiencies. Do whatever you want. Say they're all at 70%. Now, say I have 5 of each converter because I'm just going absolutely crazy. I've got a tier 3, so I've got maybe 2 of each mine, or more likely 3 of each mine. And I've got 5 of each converter, and I'm still at 76 buildings. Now, if I stack on the Materials Labs, 20 is too many. I can see that. 15 is just too many. I can get about 13 Materials Labs with this configuration. I've got 10 power plants, and I can start just maxing that out and go 27 power plants. And then that might get my efficiencies up a bit to maybe around the 90% mark. And then maybe I drop my power plants a little bit. It's a little bit messy, and I haven't got it fully optimized or anything yet, and I might be able to do that in the future. So let me know if you guys really want that. If you get this video to 150, 200 likes, I might be able to start working on that. But for now, you can see that you can start messing around with all these numbers. And then at the top, you can see if you still have materials left over. It'll tell you how many silos you need. I've gone over the buildings now, so I've got to drop my power plants to 24. You can see to really max out my Nexus level 7 and get up to 16 Materials Labs, which should net you at least 1 blueprint a day, then you can go with this configuration, right? So you can really start to mess around with these numbers. It starts to get pretty interesting. What's important is the distribution of your extractors might have an impact because that'll change up the efficiencies, but not only that, it will actually change what you need for your Materials Labs. Because Material Lab only needs silicon. So if you have a lot of silicon extractors already, then you might actually not need that many converters to get lots of Materials Labs. So you can start to see how this plays in. I know that was a complicated video. I know that was a lot to take in. If you want to learn more about Illuvium and Illuvium Zero, go check out this video in the corner for 5 tips on Illuvium Zero. Okay, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know to get started in Illuvium Zero and really get you off the ground running. Okay, have a good day, guys.